ever had a goldfish and one day you go to feed it and it's sleeping and you're like, is this thing dead? I've had this thing for like 2 years now. Is this thing still alive? And you flick the glass and it slowly moves. You're like, okay, it's alive. That's good. It's kind of how I feel about the real estate market right now. It's like some days I'm like, oh, this is not going to end well. And then other days it starts swimming around really fast. I'm like, where did all this demand come from? The October number for inflation looked good for Canada. It was 3.1. But still, over the last decade, affordability, it's the worst affordability we've ever had for owning real estate. And there's all these other factors going on. I'm going to try my best to break it all down in today's video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tom Storey. I make real estate videos about the city of Toronto, and sometimes we focus on all of Canada, depending on the subject. If you have not already, make sure to like this video if you learned anything new and subscribe to the channel. If you're someone that's active in the Toronto real estate market and you want to connect with a pro, you can go into the first link in the description and book a call with me at a time that works for you. So the inflation numbers were positive for October, down to 3.1%. You can see that the interest rate hikes are working. And now that we are over 18 months from that first interest rate hike, in fact, more time than that has passed, you're slowly now seeing the impact on the market. So it is working. We're moving in the right direction. This probably means that they're going to hold again in December, and then you'll see a rate cut at some point, maybe in late Q2 of 2024. If you dig deep in the inflation numbers, you know a lot of it that's pushing it still over 3% is the monthly mortgage cost for Canadians. And if you look here, and this is data from Hibernation, we have the worst home ownership affordability since 1990. That's over 30 years. The average going back to 1976 was about 33 to 35% of your income went towards your mortgage. As of right now, it's 54%. Now, that number cannot stay that high for too long of a time or we're going to see trouble. So yes, the inflation numbers are encouraging, but the one thing that you haven't seen any drop off in price is the rental market. We have seen an overall slowdown. It's not as crazy as it was earlier in the year for the rental market, but that just means that the prices aren't going up anymore. They're just kind of holding steady. It's taking a little bit longer. And when we have rental crisis, you start seeing things pop up like this. So I don't know if this was a joke or not, or they did this just to go viral, but on Facebook Marketplace, there was a half a bed for $650 a month. You can see at the bottom there, it says, looking for an easygoing female to share the master bedroom and the one queen size bed. So again, I don't know if this was a joke. This went semi-viral on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok account anymore. I've tried to stay off that platform, but I did see this come up several times. Now, this is obviously the extreme thing that's going to get all the eyeballs and all the attention. But the reality is that the rental market continues to be extremely, extremely expensive. And if people don't want to buy, I fully understand it right now. But the alternative to rent is the highest cost it has ever been. Now, with all the conversation about the housing market going into hibernation mode, that's actually what the Canadian Real Estate Association said in their report, right? Like, the media outlets didn't even come up with that. They said that in their official report for October. You would think to yourself, okay, well, this is good. This means that prices will slowly go down. The sales volume is not there. But hibernation mode means at some point the bear is going to wake up. Now, the question is, when is that going to happen? In the last 2 weeks, I've noticed a bit of an uptick in overall activity. Going back to the beginning of this video, the fish is just swimming a little bit faster. By no means is it going at the pace that it was previously. But we've had accepted offers on 5 properties in the last 2 weeks, and they were properties that were frankly sitting on the market for a while. And month over month, we actually saw inventory decrease. Still very much a balanced or buyer's market depending on the area that you're looking in. And with all the talk with the real estate market going into hibernation mode and everyone online saying it's not a great time to sell and everything else going on right now, sellers are going like, well, yeah, maybe I'm not going to list right now. Now, typically, this is the time of year that listings do come off the market. They don't come on at a rapid pace, in November moving into December. But there's a lot of sellers that are probably saying to themselves, nah, it doesn't really make sense right now. So we're actually slowly now seeing that shift where the inventory level is slowly coming down. It will be very, very interesting to meet where that lands just after December 15th. With the rental crisis that this country is in, the federal government is now looking to make a crackdown on Airbnb and short-term rental properties. And I understand why they are doing this. Seems to be that the Canadian way is like, we don't mind if you make a lot of money in what you do for a living, as long as it's not housing. And I get it. Like, I understand both sides of the conversation here. You can make money anywhere outside housing and we'll leave you alone. But if you make money in housing, well, you're a bad person. Now, because there was little to no regulation with Airbnb for a long time, yeah, people did go a little bit overboard and they are buying up properties that could have been 1-year rentals to family. In most major markets across Canada, there is already Airbnb restrictions in place. Toronto and Vancouver already had them. But if this goes countrywide, it will make an impact. And hopefully what it will do is it will bring down rental prices. There's 3 more charts I want to show you, and these are all from Hibernation and Sean Hildebrand. So the market is hypersensitive to interest rates. This chart's tracking the interest rates going up and the sales volume that now follows behind it. We are going to end this year in the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board with 65,000 sales. The number has not been that low since 2001. So the interest rates have done one thing absolutely. They've stopped the amount of sales that have happened. But are they actually having a big impact on the purchase price as well? And the simple answer is yes. From the peak of the market for the Greater Toronto Area, we are down 16%. Some would argue that's not as much as it should have gone down from that crazy month of February 2022. And I would probably agree with that. We are also down 3% from October of 2021. Now, everything we've talked about in this video is talking about now, right now, today. I still think Canada has very much a massive housing crisis, and in 10 years, it's not going to look pretty for average price. You can disagree with me. That is totally fine, but that's personally how I feel this is going based on everything that I am seeing. Does increasing our population actually push housing prices up? Yes, of course it does. Take a look at this chart. Immigration numbers going up, staying up for a period of time. Of course, it's going to put pressure on housing. Now, right now, you could say, well, all these people are coming here, but some of them aren't even staying in Canada because it's so expensive and they were sold a dream that isn't true anymore. You might be 100% right. But still, a lot of people are coming here every single year. Developers are not selling out projects right now. Why would you buy at a 6% interest rate? Why would you build a project that you can't make any money on as a developer? There's all these different things happening long term. It's not going to look great for housing prices overall. Hope you enjoyed that recap style video. I think I talked a little bit faster than normal in this one. Yes, this mustache is real. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Tom Storey, and remember, home is where your story begins.